studio. We'll go ahead. First question in the middle. Chris, go ahead.
Kelvin, the efficiency, 17 assists, turning those turnovers into 28 points. What does that say about this group?
You ask me that every game. I mean, literally, you ask the same question every game. No, actually, you spread it around. You normally ask that, then you go, you scored 19 points on offensive rebound. What does it say about your group? You know the answer. Okay. Okay, there. No. You asked the question. I get to talk now. What do you think the answer is, Chris?
What do I think the answer is?
Because you've asked it 100 times. What do you think the answer is?
No one cares what I think.
Yeah, but that's like I'm drowning over here and you're telling me the water's wet. Okay, so let's start over. Ask me the question again.
The efficiency you guys played with, especially offensively, and turning those turnovers into points. I mean,
Yeah.
What does that do for you guys?
It's a big part of our unscripted points. Against this league is unforgiving. There's so many good teams, talented players. I mean, everybody's talented. So you're not going to win on the offensive end. So we preached 3 areas, and we call them unscripted points. Points off turnovers, offensive rebounds, second chance points, and then the third one is fast break points. Those are points you can't script. So I think it was Saturday at Colorado. If I'm not mistaken, Joseph, you and Chris probably know this. I think we had 18 points off second chance points. 18. So it really is our oxygen. It makes us who we are. There's some teams that are so gifted offensively that they can run their stuff and execute, and they're really good at that. But the problem is on nights when their balls don't go in, they're not going to win. So our formula around here for a long time has not changed. How many years you been following us, Chris?
Probably 8, 9.
Yeah. So you weren't here in 2014, 15, right? So here's what I would say about people that weren't here when we started. They don't have a complete understanding of who we are. If you just showed up last year or this year or 2 years ago, you have no idea who we've been and where we came from. But this has been a long time coming and developing this group. But what really helps? What really helps is having great kids to coach, because it's at the end of the day it's all on them. Milos, we kind of freed Milos up the second half to go make a play, quit running a play. Terrance was awesome Saturday, and he thought there was a comma after that game, which just continued, right? He didn't realize there's a period, and a capital letter starts a brand new sentence or a new paragraph. You have to stop and start. His first shot tonight, I mean, holy smokes, that was a 30-footer from 23 feet. I mean, I've seen some air balls, but that one shot out of a cannon. As soon as it left his hands, I just hope it didn't hit one of our kids in the head. I mean, that was the worst air ball in the history of the game. I mean, at what point when you released that did you realize, oops?
Right when I released it, I did.
But you knew it wasn't short, right?
Yeah, I knew.
Okay, good. If you had said, I think that's a little short, would have probably had a problem. But at least you knew it was long.
I didn't know it was that long, though.
I didn't know it was that long either. That was a long one. But Baylor's really, really talented. I mean, they've got Edgecombe. He didn't miss a shot tonight, did he? 5 for 5, 4-4 free throw line. Omer, we played him in the Sweet 16 to go to the Elite Eight a couple years ago at Miami. He's elite. You know, that team scored 60 points second half against Kansas. Yes, 60. And that little Wright kid is a big reason why. But I thought we guarded pretty good. But it's almost like if we weren't turning them over, they were scoring. And a lot of those were not easy shots. But Baylor's talented, though. They've got a Hall of Fame coach over there. And but the Saturday, Monday thing's tricky. You know, when I was in the Big 12 earlier, you know, we were really good at Oklahoma, so we had a ton of Big Monday games, and Big Monday was a big deal. And that was always a quick turnaround, that Saturday, Monday. But Kellen had to scout today for this game, and he did an awesome job with his scout report yesterday. We didn't even tape. All we did was just walk through how we're going to guard this, guard that. Second half, we guarded the dribble really good because we made a little bit slight adjustment on how we were going to do that. But they still banged shots. But the good thing is that, you know, we do have a plan with our unscripted points. It's saved us many nights over the years. But that's a great question, by the way, Chris.
We'll go to Chris in the front.
Terrance, how do you feel physically? How's your Achilles and everything? How you feel?
Well, I feel good. Like Coach said, it was just a quick turnaround. So I was a little worn out today, but I mean, we got probably 5 days before the next game, so I'm just gonna take this time to recover and get back 100%. But yeah, I feel good.
Go to Joseph, left middle.
Kelvin, you had 32 points in the paint. They didn't have Josh, or they announced that Josh was out for the year.
Yeah.
How much was that sort of a
Definitely a factor. Every team in the country, at one point or another, is going to have to deal with injuries. I think the school that has an injured player thinks that they're the only school that gets injured. Honest to goodness, every school has injuries. But he was really important to them. You know, he's you know, losing, very similar to us losing JoJo last year. You know, we never forgot how much we missed him. I think we missed, actually, I think it was the Baylor game, if I remember right, at Baylor last year. That was a big hit for our team, and that's a big hit for them. He was having a great year. He allows Scott to play big, play Omer at the 4, and now he's going to have to play Langston Love, who's a difficult cover for a 4-man. I mean, he was lighting us up that first half, but no surprise. That's a talented kid. They got a bunch of guys that are all pros.
Chandler, right front.
Kelvin, I know as a coach you take pride in player development. With Los, it seems like he's gotten better each and every game. What's it been like for you to see that progression throughout the year, even the moments that we don't see in games?
Yeah, I think Los is growing, but give him the credit. Don't give it to me. I mean, he chose to come here for those reasons. You know, what we do is give him permission to be good. You know, he plays with, when you're playing between Terrance and Emmanuel and LJ, and you've got JoJo and J1, if you're a first-year guy, there's a tendency to come in and just want to, you know, blend in. But, you know, there's games where he's going to have to impose his will on the game. And I say that because he's good enough. You know, not everybody can do that. I thought his aggressiveness the second half was really what keyed our surge. I think we were up 22 at the 3-minute mark. I think when I took LJ out, we were up 22. But that stretch, that middle 10-minute stretch from about the 15-minute mark to the 5-minute mark, I thought the key there was we really executed what we were calling. Our execution was high level. But our spacing on our five-man, and we got good play at our five-man tonight, both of them. When you've got JoJo and Jay, 40 minutes of those two at the level we're at now. Jay was the game Saturday, he's coming back from, the concussion thing, so I didn't worry about that. But I could tell yesterday and today he was going to be ready to go, and JoJo's always ready to go. But Milos, I thought Milos was a big key tonight. LJ got going, Terrance got going, Emmanuel made some shots. One, not so much, but they were, we take what you give us. We don't force it. They were taking one away. Okay, we'll go to something else.
Coach, I know you mentioned Emmanuel. What were your thoughts on his performance coming back today?
Manav, I'll probably have to go back and watch the film to give you a definitive answer. But it's just good for him to get out there and get going. I think his second, third, fourth, time going will be good. Regardless of how he played tonight, he's got 2 days off. Our kids need to rest. This league is unforgiving, and the travel, how we travel. Since Utah, that snow game, Utah at home, at Kansas, come back, at Morgantown, West Virginia, come back. Now you got Texas Tech on Saturday afternoon. Next thing you know, you got Oklahoma State, you go to Colorado, and now 48 hours later we got Baylor. So, our kids need a rest. We're getting worn down a little bit, but we're not unique. Baylor. Scott, and like I said, they got a Hall of Fame coach. They got a national championship program. He will figure it out, but it just happened Saturday. I'm assuming they don't play again until this coming Saturday, so it gives them a chance to figure out what they want to do. But I was impressed with Baylor tonight, having lost their five-man, and how well those guys played around him.
Los, is it difficult for you to kind of be more aggressive when it's pick your spots to be aggressive?
I wouldn't say it's difficult. Most of the time I'm just trying to do what the defense gives me. And I feel like my teammates just make it a lot easier for me. There are a lot of guys who can space the floor out and get to my spots. So, no, I wouldn't say it's difficult. It's just coaching them or challenging me to do it more.
I got time for one more question. We'll go to Chris and then.
Kelvin, the balance on this team, being able to play through a number of different guys, does that give this group maybe a different dimension?
I think it's one of our strengths, Chris. The other one is mistakes. We averaged single-digit turnovers. We had 7 turnovers tonight, and we ran as much as we can. One of the things that makes our game slower is we force teams deep into shot clocks, so they're going to stay on offense longer. And longer possessions mean a shorter game. I remember the days before the shot clock, you intentionally played slow against teams you didn't think you could beat, which is one of the reasons they put the shot clock in. Most people know, most of the kids in this room don't realize the shot clock used to be 45 seconds. Then it was 35 seconds. See, you weren't even born, Chancellor.
45 is great.
Yeah. Google it, brother. 35 seconds. Yeah. You tell how old you are when you go, get out of here. No. It's 45 seconds. I coached with a 45-second shot clock. I coached before the shot clock. I coached before the three-point line. That's how ancient I am.
I understand that.
So, eliminating mistakes is what this great game's about. It's not about great plays. It's about eliminating mistakes. So our ability to have multiple options is good for us. But all the best teams, look how many they have. And they got, everybody on their team can get 20. And then they bring a kid off the bench, Jaden Nunn, who started last year. So, but, you know, no matter who you're playing in this league, so this is really, really talented league. You know, our record's 12-1, but we're really lucky to be 12-1. We could have easily lost the Central Florida game. I'm still trying to figure out how we won the Kansas game. So I don't run around with my chest stuck out thinking we're this or that. That's never been who I am. You know, we're just fortunate. Some nights we could have easily won the Texas Tech game, but we didn't. But that's because we got outplayed. And it's a long season. If you take 3 or 4 games on either side, you're going to find out who you are in the middle. You're always going to have 3 or 4 games over the 30-plus game schedule where you're going to be terrible. Every school, every year. Then you're going to have 3 or 4 games at the high end where you look like you're the best team ever. And the overreaction to both is amazing. Don't ever react to how great somebody is. On the low end, we're never as bad as you think we are. On the high end, we're never as good as you think you are. You know, we are who we are. We're a blue-collar team we have great kids that enjoy playing for each other, and there's a lot of love with this group, and that's usually what really good teams have.
Coach, Milos, Terrance, thank you for your time.